But people, we're about to get into that Luke Cage spoiler talk, and we might be spoiling a little bit of Jessica Jones and Daredevil, so it's probably good to watch those as well. Well, too late now, but just know a little bit about those knowledge. Have a knowledge of those shows a little bit as well, just so we can have a clean slate. Everybody can say whatever they want, and yeah. But I'm about to start. Why the fuck did they kill Cottonmouth? What the fuck?
Oh my god! I was the same goddamn question.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck is that? And how as randomly as they did that shit too. Like, it was right around this time that they were starting to develop his character. I mean, like that exact same fucking scene. He was yelling at what is her name? Black
Mamba.
Black.
Screw it.
Maria or something like that? Yeah, but he was yelling at her cousin. Mariah, yeah, Black Mariah. He was yelling at her cousin and shit like that, saying, No, you're the reason why I'm in this, saying the truth, pretty much telling it like it is. And then out of nowhere, fucking falls out the window. She kills him, writing his character off the scene, and that shit really pissed me off.
It's weird. I sort of felt like when they did that, I think that was like their half. Like you notice, like in Daredevil, Jessica Jones, that they do this thing that like halfway in the episode, they sort of like change it up, so it's now this thing that's serious. I sort of think that was the same thing with going on with Luke Cage, where after they just kill Cottonmouth, which I thought I thought the death was like, this is how you're gonna kill him. That's a weird way of kind of killing him.
It was out of nowhere. It was out of fucking nowhere. Bottle hit, fall out the window, bam. It was like, what the fuck?
And the thing that was a problem for me, dude, is like they really built him up good, man. Like this was a character that wasn't your same old fucking bad guy. Like this dude had a really good fucking dynamic of like, you know what, he's a bad guy, he's an evil son of a bitch, but he has like reasons as to why he's humanized.
Yeah.
He has morals.
No, for me, it's like, it felt kind of random because up until that point, there's almost two villains. You had the politician who's like, I'm the public figure, but I'm secretly, a piece of shit. Then you had the criminal who all he wants to be is a criminal. So I'm like, oh, it's cool. We're going to get this political person to be like right down in the villainy. But they don't really do anything with her character after she becomes the main villain. She just kind of just hangs around and shows up and does stuff.
Like, she wasn't the main villain though. Like, Diamondback was.
Oh yeah,
Diamondback was not the main villain.
No, he was the third main villain.
We'll get to that, but like back on the Cottonmouth thing. Okay, I guess that they had to move him out of the way because it's later revealed that Shades had showed up at the club around the same time to do the exact same thing, kill Cottonmouth. So I guess they wanted to put them two both in place, like as the leaders, just how they are made pretty much like in the comic book and everything like that. But it was like, it was weird. Like I said, they were starting to develop his character. He was a sympathetic villain. He really didn't even want to go into the game. He played piano, which he was pretty good at. You always see him playing piano. And it seemed like he was just forced into the game just by his surroundings. And moreover, he was forced by his mother, which is Mama Mabel. Which, fun fact, by the way, did y'all know that was played by Samuel Jackson's wife?
Oh, I thought you were going to say Samuel L. Jackson.
That would have been amazing.
Yeah, that would have been fucking hilarious. But yeah, that was Samuel Jackson's wife, and she was the one that kind of like forced him. Like that scene with the pliers, I was like, "Fuck!"
That scene was what the hell? That was the smallest thing ever. It's like, it's okay, come here, honey.
Yeah.
And then his uncle Cottonmouth, his first kill was when he had killed his uncle and everything like that. So that seemed like that was, branching him off. And like I see, he was a sympathetic villain. Even a little bit before that, because it seemed like he was connected to Pops because they used to roll around and stuff like that back in the day. And when his goons had killed them, he was pretty sad about it. He was like, "Man, there's supposed to be some rules to this shit," and fucking threw his goon off the fucking roof, which was cool, by the way.
The thing that's frustrating to me, Anthony, about that, and this will be a good way to segue into like more stuff about Luke Cage in the beginning, because the thing is, like, when he kills that guy on the roof, and that's cool that, like, he has a dynamic about him where he, has morals, but it's like we never got to see that revenge for Pop's death. And that pissed me off about Cottonmouth. I was like, okay, that's cool. You're making Cottonmouth like a really, the fucking character who's that insane that he'll kill somebody like that, one of his goons. But I'm like, dude, what a fucking idiot. Like, that was the whole story arc. Like, this whole episode's leading up to, like, that guy is a bad guy. I want that motherfucker dead. I want Luke Cage to rip his throat out. We never get that.
Yeah,
it feels like
Luke Cage has never been that type of guy to, like, rip anybody's throat out or anything like that. He's always been like I'm not gonna kill anybody, but I'm gonna like mess you up a little bit.
But don't you feel
the same
like
way? But there's sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, but like Rashad, don't you feel like Luke Cage should have got his revenge somehow? I mean, I know he wasn't gonna rip his throat out, but like, like Luke Cage never got revenge on the person that actually killed Pops. Like he never really, you know what I mean? Like we never got that satisfaction from Luke Cage's revenge.
I think that goes back into like his character. Like you said, he was a dynamic character, cool. But he had charisma, but his like his mission or overall motivation seemed non-existent. Like I don't know what the fuck was his end goal. And when Luke Cage finally showed up and confronted him, nobody did anything. He just defeated the goons. He could have killed that motherfucker right there. And then right after when Luke Cage was starting to tear down his empire, he was pretty much a big pushover. Luke Cage bitched him out. People coming into his fucking like his office and shit, dropping milk duds on the floor, and just like, hey, bitch, what you gonna do about it?
Well, see,
Milky Way.
Like that was his main thing. That was his revenge. He wanted to bring down Cottonmouth, not physically, not kill him or hurt him.
Yeah, but
he
never
wanted to
did,
bring down
though.
his empire. Like
Well,
he stole all his money. All of his money got turned over to the police. He lost all of his guns. He lost respect to everybody that was in the criminal circle. Like he did basically what he set out to do, to aim right at Cottonmouth.
No, I agree with Rashad in the sense of like, yeah, like that was a story like Luke Cage was going straight after Cottonmouth, and I understand that like Luke Cage realized that it really wasn't that dude's fault because Cottonmouth was getting his shit done, and he's the main bad guy. But still, like, even then, Luke Cage would go up to Cottonmouth's, his face and not do anything. He's like, I'm going to get you, Cottonmouth. I'm going to fuck your shit up. And there's, like, these long scenes where it's like, ooh, the tension's rising. Holy shit. And then we go back to Luke Cage walking around the neighborhood like this is fucking GTA 5 free roam. It was pissing me off.
I agree with you. He's not a killer. He didn't want to go to jail. But it seemed like after he had told on his empire, Luke Cage was just, like, chilling back. Went back to the the barber shop. Just chilling like nothing happened, like if Cottonmouth wasn't going to come after him. It's like he was chilling, and then that was a cool way that I showed, like, Cottonmouth was a cool villain when he fucking pulled up that Stinger rocket launcher, and that was the only way they ended off episode 3. Like, that was the only time that you see that type of tension boil over. But it was like, Luke Cage, what the fuck you thought was going to happen? You took down his empire. He didn't have a leg to stand on. Really so that's what I was saying. Like, he wanted to actively take him down and arrest him, but he never did anything. He just let him, like, roam free. Like, break his leg or arm or something. I don't know.
One thing I want to bring up, too, as far as the rocket launcher scene, and this is going to help me segue into this, too, because I want to talk about Misty Knight, who Anthony is in love with Misty Knight, dude. Oh, my God. She is gorgeous. But here's my problem with Misty Knight, though. And Anthony's probably going to hate this. But, man, so every story, there's a build-up to something. Like, there's a relationship, there's a sex scene, if there's some kind of story arc, you need to build up to a climax. And I know it's predictable sometimes, but it's a reason why it is predictable. You have to do that. In the very first episode, which is my favorite episode of the whole show, by the way, but, Luke Cage, he's working, he's doing the dishes, he's serving wine to people and shit, and then Misty Knight comes in as an undercover detective trying to see what's going on, and they end up in a sex scene in the very first episode. And then after that, it's like it's a continual thing where it's just building up. It's like, are they going to get back together? Do they like each other? They're starting to get to know each other well. But they already got the climax. It's stupid. And the same thing with Cottonmouth. We got, like, no build-up with Cottonmouth. Cottonmouth learned that Luke Cage fucked up his money and all that bullshit. And then all of a sudden he starts off this rivalry with a fucking rocket launcher. And then that's the only action we get. The next episode, he's talking to Luke Cage to his face like, yo, I know I'm going to get your ass, right? Like, you shot him with a rocket launcher. Like, how can you fucking, like...
Because he figures eventually he'll be able to do something to stop him. Like, that's why the Judas bullets were so, like, he was so freaking out because, like, I finally can do something to this guy.
But the thing that was frustrating to me is, like, if you watch the first 3 episodes, you saw the finale. Like, the finale is so shitty in comparison to episode 3 or episode 2. It's like, both those 3 episodes are the best things you get and the craziest it gets. I mean, you get a sex scene with Misty Knight, you get a bunch of shootouts, you get Luke Cage going to those fucking buildings and fucking everybody up constantly. Those are the main events. It's crazy. Like, I don't even fucking, like, how do you write the show backwards? It's like, it's insane.
And just to go off the point too, just to talk about the villains and stuff like that. Diamondback, that's a big one. And Adrian, I agree with you. I'm not sure if she's in the call. But I agree with you. She says she's tired of the villains doing that whole, I'm jealous. I'm jealous because he's my brother and my father didn't love me, so I'm jealous and I'm going to kill Luke Cage. Like, that shit is, oh my God, it's so, and then, okay, going back to when Diamondback was first introduced, okay, you got Cottonmouth out of the picture, Shades, and Black, I can never remember her goddamn name. By the way, when she popped up, did anybody think she was playing the exact same character from Civil War?
Dude, it's the same actress, so yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, what the fuck is happening here? So I knew that was going to happen sometime soon, that they was going to have one actor play 2 different actors, because Tyler Perry got all the black actors, so they running out. No, but pretty much Diamondback, when he first popped up, he used the first one to use the Judas bullets to take down Luke Cage, which he had injured him, and he fucking blew up a truck. That was a strong opening. But as you learn Diamondback and continue in the series, like I said, like Adrian said, he had the same motivation that we've seen time and time again. Plus, it seemed like when it got to that point, the episode started to stall a little bit. Like that whole scene of him staking out in the club, that shit seemed to just drag on just a little bit too long. And he's not really a good actor either. It's just like he was just kind of annoying. Like I was just like, he's not as good as Cottonmouth with the charisma, but he's get shits done and he injured Diamondback. But he just doesn't have the same feel as Cottonmouth. And the big thing, he's fucking retarded too. Yes. Because, okay, Nick, you remember that scene where he shot Luke Cage and he falls into like a garbage truck. And they say, she shoots him. He sees him fall into the garbage truck. Next scene, he said, why the fuck did you not find him? I'm like, follow the fucking truck. I'm like, what the fuck?
And here's the thing, like, okay, because I remember we're in the call and I was trying to be like, okay, because I was shitting on the show the whole time. And I feel sorry for Alan having to deal with me yelling about the show. Because Alan was like, I can tell you're like, man, can you just shut the fuck up and let me watch this goddamn show? So I'm sorry to be that guy, but I sometimes I am when I really hate something. But the thing is, like, fucking, when that happened, he like shot him, and I can understand if there's a situation where Diamondback was like, no, I thought he was dead, but it's the very next scene that Anthony's talking about. It's like literally the truck drives away, and then Diamondback comes in his room. Where the fuck is Luke Cage? You were just there 5 seconds ago.
And can I mention something onto that scene too? Like close to the ending of that episode when Diamondback shot him into the garbage truck.
What's up?
Okay, so Diamondback shot him in the stomach.
Yeah,
and most of the metal was in his stomach. But then when he shot him with the Judas bullets on the shoulder, and then like an episode or two later when they were doing surgery on him, they apparently got all the metal in his inside but not his shoulder.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Oh my God. I'm thinking the same thing.
I noticed that.
They don't ignore the wound. But what it is, they get most of it because it went inside and exploded. The only thing I could think of is A, it didn't explode, B, it went through. It just went straight through him. Which, again, it doesn't make much sense. Or, for some reason, the shrapnel all gravitated towards the center where she was able to take him out.
Yeah, but even then, it's like, if all the shrapnel kind of went together, wouldn't it just be like a big piece right in some flat-ass like thing is the size of a dime or something?
Yeah.
Because it just feels a little bit... there's so many plot holes in that fucking, in this fucking series.
Yeah.
It just feels like, okay, that doesn't make any sense, but I guess I'll just roll with it or something. Like, was his insides vital parts where he kind of got shot in, and just not like his shoulder, chest area? Because it's close to his fucking heart, and I'm pretty sure if it exploded in that area too, it would have there would be pretty much be a good shockwave at his heart that would kind of fuck him up a little bit, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And I felt the same. Oh, go ahead, Anthony.
No, I was just saying, yeah, that was weird. The only thing I did like that scene and the science behind it, sort of, like they had to really heat up his body in order to like go past it and get the things. I actually thought that was kind of cool, but it made me laugh. That's the funny thing about it is like I was like, okay, this can be an allegory for deep frying chicken. I mean, like it's a black guy. Nigga. Yeah, like come on.
No, guys.
Come on. Sometimes you gotta throw the science out and do what you feel is right because. Fuck, that's stupid. That seems stupid.
Yeah. It was like they gonna deep fry this black dude like some chicken. I was like, it's some white guy, some racist white guy that's making that parallel somewhere. I know it. It's like I make the same parallel.
Yeah, you mean you?
Yeah, exactly. No, but to go back on the Diamondback scene, that ending fight scene.
That was fucking hilarious. That shit was amazing.
I'm so pissed at that fight scene because I did not hear one person in that crowd yell out "World Star." What the fuck? That's bullshit.
They just yell at Harlem anytime they could.
That was so weird because that fight did not feel like a superhero fight. It felt like the fucking... If you marry that shit to Friday, that was pretty much Ice Cube versus Debo.
Oh my God,
you're
right.
It was Rocky 5. You pointed it out. It's the end of Rocky 5.
No, yeah, is that too? But like the thing is, and thank you, it is like Rocky 5, and I remember saying that shit during the show too, and I remember too the Friday thing. It goes so much like Friday, where at the end Luke Cage is walking with that chick. And they're walking, and he's like, yo, so I guess I'll see you tomorrow then, baby. Like, all that bullshit, and they're talking. That's the same exact line and same exact fucking scene that Ice Cube had with fucking Naya, whatever her name is. Like, fucking, it's just all it needed was someone going like, "You got knocked the fuck out," like to Diamondback. It was
exactly.
Did someone say that?
The closest thing that got to it was like a dude on the side of the street said, "Oh man, he talked about your mama." Man, you gotta get up and move
I was
that."
done. I almost stopped watching.
The show is inconsistent though, because think about it. Her whole plot, Diamondback, their whole plot was to turn the whole
Diamondback.
Diamondback. And I agree with Skulls when he said in the chat, he said they should have got Tony Todd to play Diamondback, which probably would have worked. But the whole neighborhood was against Luke Cage, right? Saying you're a crook, you're a villain. They was all part of that protest saying, "Oh shit, let's do it." Why do we jump to that fight scene? Nobody's yelling at him. Everybody's saying, "Get him, Luke Cage! Get him, Luke Cage!" I'm like, who the fuck told these motherfuckers about?
I think that was sort of explained because they had that scene where Method Man got saved by Luke Cage and he was on the radio saying like, okay, the dude would it was pretty much like the stop and frisk sort of Trayvon Martin thing that they kind of went through with that. So everybody so a good majority of people can kind of be on sides for it too. So they did explain that in a way, but they kind of just did it. They rushed it in a way. Say like, no, he saved this neighborhood, he saved this people. I'm with him and that stuff like. But they just kind of did it in a really quick montage to say, oh, now everybody's cool with him.
Yeah, Barksdale's right, by the way. And I'll get into the music in a bit, but Method Man's fucking freestyle was amazing. Granted, it wasn't a freestyle, by the way. It was written. Okay, so let's not give too much credit to that motherfucker.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put that shit out there now. Don't use freestyle too much. No, but the thing is, though, like, that was cool and everything, but another issue I have with the show, and we'll get into this as well, is the fact that, you know, it's kind of crazy how everything kind of lines up, like, almost like Seinfeld. Like, I kept making references to WWE and Seinfeld with the show. Like, WWE-wise, people are turning heel and face. I'm supposed to like this guy, then I like the other guy, and then CottonMouth is actually a good guy, but then he's bad, and then he's evil, but then he gets killed by the bitch that I liked before that. Like, what the fuck? That was annoying. But then, like, everyone's so connected. Like, I have a trouble believing that Luke Cage would be working for CottonMouth, and then he'd be connected to Misty Knight, and then she'd be connected to the other crook who also knows Diamondback and Cottonmouth, like that white cop. It's just everybody's so connected. It's like this world. It's so small that it's too small for this to even exist. It was fucking weird how everything's so connected. Where, I mean, it just reminded me of Seinfeld. It was like, this is a sitcom.
To go off that point, Nick, and pretty much Martin said it because he's doing a podcast with some two other fellas, and they call it like the Eye on Marvel TV, and they're gonna review every episode of Luke Cage. And he said he's like, even in the first episode, it feels like the show, Luke Cage show, is more about the city and the surroundings and the community, which you see like he's a hero for hire. They kept making that joke and reference, and it seems like Luke Cage takes a backseat to his own goddamn show. It's like they want to build the world and the city more than Luke Cage himself. And he's like an afterthought. So it's just like he never gets that much development. That actor is okay, but they don't really give him that much to work with. He's kind of a brick. I will say this. He's better in this, maybe just because the camera was just on him more than Jessica Jones. Because he was kind of stiff, to your point, Alan. Like you say, he was kind of like just a brick wall in fucking Jessica Jones. Like he was just kind of like there. So and that's the thing. It's like with the show, the villains, their motivations were not that good. And it didn't seem like it had no really endpoint to do it. Like they said, they pretty much humanized all the villains because going back to the comics, Shades was pretty much Cyclops. Black Maria was like this big fat the blob bitch, and she pretty much defeated Luke Cage by sitting on him. And Cottonmouth had like a steel jaw and steel teeth. So they like, granted, all this shit probably couldn't have worked in the series, but you can kind of felt like, his villains couldn't even compete to him because they had to introduce shit like, the Judas bullets or that fucking dumbass power suit at the end of the series.
I actually kind of want to get you guys' ratings and just like one more little in total what you guys think of the show. So who should go for? Who wants to volunteer to go first?
Alan, you go, buddy.
Sure.
I guess not.
Yeah. No, I just okay. So, I think I hate. Well, I didn't. I have to say this. No, because I'm trying to figure out exactly how I want to say this. I don't want to say that I hate it because I did hate parts, but overall, it is the weakest one. But I'm still glad I watched it because it still gave a chance for the main actor to kind of grow as a character. Like I feel that when he's in the Defenders, it's going to be a very supportive role. And I feel that that's where he's going to be the best. He's going to be almost like the Hulk of the team. So he's not there for his acting. He's there to punch through a wall or beat the crap out of someone really powerful. And in that sense, I'm glad I sat through it because it does have a lot of good parts, but it is bogged down by bad writing and bad set pieces. So honestly, I think I'd give it a rental. Check it out just so you can get into the Defenders. But if you wait a while, like it's not really, you don't need to watch it right now.
Okay. Marcus, how about you, brother?
Wow, I do have a lot of problems with the show. Parts of the storyline doesn't make any sense. There's a bunch of plot holes on there. The fight scene, the big fights, the fight scene they had when he was raiding the building was kind of like mediocre. It was just mediocre because, of course, Luke Cage. I don't think he. Well, that's even a bigger consistency. He can do pit fighting, but he couldn't. But he didn't fight for shit when he raided that goddamn building. That was weird. The writing could have been a little bit more solid. But at the same time, I felt like that this, personally, I think this was a way more grounded series of the Marvel TV shows because it's not you're not slowly dealing with mysticism, ninjas, and like magic and shit. You're just kind of dealing with like some dude that just wants to just lead a normal life in a sense. The music on here is absolutely amazing. The performances that I'm completely surprised that they got like Charles Bradley, Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings, Raphael Sadiq, just like those just great old school artists on there, which just added more flavor to the show and just more like energy to what I didn't expect. That took me by surprise. Like I said again, some plot devices didn't work on there, but for what it's worth, I would give it a high matinee, almost to a low full price. Because not to mention like his speech in the back around the end too was very, very, very heartfelt, and I kind of had a great sense of pride to that too. So yeah, definitely I would highly check it out. Personal rating, I would say first 2 seasons of Daredevil, Luke Cage, and then Jessica Jones.
Okay, I'll go before Rashad really quick. So for me, I'm just gonna tell you guys what I think right away. This is a fuck you. And the reason why is because the trailer was amazing. It promised us fucking action. And the thing is, this show got fucking comfortable with the fact that it's like, hey, there's no other black shows out there. There's no other black like superheroes. So let's just be that and be nothing else. Blaxploitation this, Blaxploitation that. It's fucking annoying. The fact of the matter is, they do storylines backwards. There's times where like, you know, there'll be like, you know, a rule that they break. You know, they forget certain storylines they have. You know, they had comedy on shit that I'm supposed to care about. There's so many opportunities. Like, it's actually kind of a nice little gimmick. Like, I like the fact that, you know, can get shot and walk around. That's a badass superpower. And it's just straight up. It's not silly like Captain America. Like, I'm sorry, people, but I don't like Captain America. I don't like Superman that much. You know, Luke Cage is the one character I was like, dude, this is kind of interesting. This guy's kind of badass. But they put the worst actor in the world. I couldn't fucking stand that shit. It's just, dude, the finale, like, you sit there and watch this for hours, and finale is literally people talking about coffee and paperwork for an hour. Like, what the fuck? You know, I hate it. I hate this show. And, you know, I have my own feelings about Daredevil. I didn't like Daredevil too much either. You know, I don't know. I can't stand the show. It's a fuck you. Rashad, how about you, brother?
Well, kind of a hard follow-up with that one. I'm just saying, I like this show. Like, I liked everything about it. Like, the culture aspect, like the environment that you're in. The music is a really great, like I want to say it's even like a co-character to the show. Like even like with them going and making this show, they said they wanted each episode to feel like a part of like a soundtrack or an album. And I love the music in this show. Like every single song down, like the Jadina performance, Hail to the Chief, and then like we said, like Redman with his Bulletproof Love song. I liked the Mike Coulter as Luke Cage, but he's not 100% like the Luke Cage in the comics. Like the Luke Cage in the comics, he's much more eccentric. He's never, I understand why this character is reserved. He doesn't want to go back to jail. He doesn't want to like expose himself to like be put back in that position again. But the Luke Cage in the comics, he's a little bit more eccentric, a little bit more like, you know, energetic and out there. I think going into the future, after what happened in the finale and what will probably happen with the Defenders and all that, I think that it will make his character better. And for the thing is, like, he is sort of like a Superman, like Captain America, like type character. Like I know I heard you guys say like, oh, why didn't he kill him? Why didn't he do this? Why didn't he do that? He's not that type of guy. He's not that type of guy to go around breaking necks. Like, we saw what happened when Superman did that, and everybody lost their shit. They split people down 50-50 when they did that. So, like,
and the thing is, he's realistic too. Like, it's not just so like super duper. Like, I can see this character actually existing.
Yeah. And that's like he's a down to earth character. Like, and that's not even just. I'm not saying this because he's black though, but like that's like a big aspect of his character. But there are like some problems that I have with it, like. Especially like when I love fight choreography, I like watching it all the time. There's a lot of inconsistencies with the fight choreography, like him getting shot with those Judas bullets and getting thrown into that truck. The Luke Cage I know in the comics would have grabbed that garbage truck and hit his ass with it, or at least not hit him with it, but at least threw it at him at least. Made it like go towards his way. Like there's a lot of inconsistencies. Like in the theater when him and Diamondback are fighting, he would have like lifting up theater chairs, throwing it at him. It's like they take a lot of consistencies with him just for the sake of plot, and that is like a problem that I can't ignore with it. But overall, like I pretty much liked it. Like I would give it a high matinee. Yeah. And like as far as like my show ranking, I would say Daredevil season 1, this season 2, and then Jessica Jones.
And I forgot to do mine too on that sense. People, and I know it's gonna sound like crazy, but for me, this is the best thing on the Marvel Netflix thing.
What?
Like I know, like I hate it and everything, but at least there's some comedy in it or some sense. Like Daredevil, I'm sorry, I do not get that shit at all. The blind dude being a fuck. I won't get into it. Alan's probably like, oh shit, here we go. But like, man, Daredevil's fucking retarded, y'all. And I haven't watched Jessica Jones. I haven't watched that, so I won't talk stuff about that. And I'm sure it sounds, I'm sure it's good. And I haven't seen season 2 of Daredevil. I kind of wanted to skip season 1 and watch, because I watched some scenes with the Punisher, and that shit looks awesome. Like the prison scene where fucking Punisher's just beating the fuck out those dudes in the cells. That's amazing. That's one of my favorite scenes of any comic book, anything.
Nah, there's some brutal shit in season 1 of Daredevil.
It is worth the watch.
As far as my review, I would pretty much say, it's a good show. And to go off Rashad's point, I like that he was a down-to-earth superhero. Like, he was just, like, he felt part of the community, not this person that was outcast or something. Well, later into the series when it worked into the plot. But it was like people coming to him because he was like, yeah, he took my dad's ring. He took my dad's ring. And he was just like, yeah, I got your ring back. He crumbled the gun. And I appreciate that sometimes the show could have went to cliche avenues, like the church scene, when they was doing their speeches for Pops when he had died. Like the villain had talked and Luke Cage had talked, and it wasn't no big explosion or shootout, nothing. It was just a scene that you see both sides. You see Cottonmouth, you see Luke Cage, and they both have a common interest and they both can come together on something. But like I said, it's a lot of problems that I mentioned before. The villains, I really don't give a shit. The villains was so bad to me. I didn't give a shit about. The only one I said I gave a shit about was Cottonmouth, and not because of his motivation, because he liked motivation just like the rest of them, but just because of his charisma. He ate scenery on scene, like everything he said. Like he had charisma. I just cared about everything, and that laugh is amazing.
I want to see more things. That guy is really good, man.
I do. I really want to see him. Actually, play more villain roles. Really good, man. Yeah, play more villain roles, but my review will pretty much be fuck Luke Cage while Black Mirror. Watch Black Mirror.
Yeah.